Welcome back to the All Things MCC podcast. I am your host, Seapeekay, and we are going to talk about all things MCC, but this time it's with Jojo.
Hello, that's me.
Jojo. Does that ever get old?
No, I really like the song, so it's it's a good thing.
To be fair, at least it's not an absolutely atrocious song.
Yeah.
You're chilling. You're big chilling. So thank you for taking the time and coming to the podcast. It's very cool. Obviously, coming off the back of teaming, which is very cool.
I know. I mean, that's why I thought now would be a great time.
No, I fully agree. And you decided to just kill it too.
Demolish the competition, yes.
Yeah, very, very easy for you. Everyone else tying for second and third. Grow up.
What?
Not Jojo. Jojo doesn't tie for places.
Never. Well.
Never, ever. We're going to start nice and light. Okay?
Okay.
Why do you hate Sands of Time? No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, that's completely wrong. I love Sands of Time.
Yeah, it's just a complete lie. I'm just fabricating things to...
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna clickbait the hell out of this. I'm just gonna fabricate complete awful questions, and
you're lying to the audience.
I would never. No, but so last MCC, obviously we were kind of favorites. I think we were kind of favorites.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? 'Cause I know you kind of do feel the pressures of event and the pressures of everyone thinking you're cracked, which you are. But as I said, you play it off really well, because I thought from that clip before that you were like really chilled, and you're like, no, I was not. So
yeah.
how did how does it make you feel being on a team that is strong, where people expect you to do well, versus maybe the other way around?
Yeah, I mean, exactly a year ago from our MCC was when MCC Rising was announced. Yeah.
Was it that long?
Yeah, which, as you may or may not recall, our MCC Rising team was also the #1 favorite team, and everyone was like, you're going to win. I very much felt the pressure. I literally had nightmares weeks before the event.
Oh, no.
And I think this time going in, it gave me a lot of like similar vibes from Rising, just being like, oh my God, like people think we're going to win, so we have to win. But since I did have like a little bit of experience with that, it wasn't as much pressure. I think the main thing that kind of weighed me down was thinking like, everyone's thinking I'm going to place first individual. That's what I need to show up on, because if our team loses, it's whatever, right? Like other teams were better. That's how it is. But my personal individual score, everyone was like, this one Jojo places first. And I'm like, maybe. I hope so. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how does that feel? I mean, from what I was reading all over the Reddit, I believe you are the first female to get first individually. Pretty mad, really, because there's some stacked girlies in this event now. I
know, and you know what? It feels great. Like, obviously, it was a goal of mine to get first and have the Reddit finally deem me as S tier or whatever. But strangely enough, like somewhere in the back of my head, and even like during the event, I was like, I'm not even performing that well. Like we started off so good, and then I feel like I was just going downhill. Like I was just like, oh, like I'm doing fine. Like there's so many places where I could have done better. So the fact that I still placed first and I wasn't playing at my personal best. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for future MCCs.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were all kind of having that moment. I mean, the weird thing was, like, I think we did so well in the games that we weren't meant to, and then we kind of flopped. Like, I got last place in Hole in the Wall, Jojo.
Oh
like,
God, what? I know. I've watched the clip though.
no, it's so bad. Like, I can't even pretend it was the Pistons. There was nothing there. I just fell.
It was the Pistons. I watched it. You hit your head on a piston. You did.
Scandal.
I watched it happen. Yeah, it was the piston.
Right. That's it. I'm suing the Nox crew. That's now what's going to happen. I'm going to open up a legal case. But yeah, I don't know. It was such a strange one. I also felt the same way. I was like, afterwards, I was like, I really didn't perform that well. Like, I really could have done better in this and this. And I'm like, if my bad event is 13th, like, I'm chilling. That's so good. I'm like, I sucked so bad. And I'm like,
And that's why, like, I kept saying, like, you guys are carrying me. Because, like, technically, sure, I was in first individual, but as a team, we all performed so well. And that is why I genuinely think we won that. Like, I would not have been able to do it alone, you know?
Yeah, I actually think, like, I mean, I was talking about this. I think Joel said the same thing too. Like, it's probably my favorite team in terms of vibes ever.
Yeah,
and I've been in a lot of these now. And, like, I don't know. We all clearly wanted to win. But also, like, if we didn't and we just had, like, a really fun time, it seemed like we were all still also chill with that. I don't know. I don't know it was just so fun. I don't know what brought the vibes to be so good, but they were unreal for the whole event.
I agree. I don't know what it was either, but I like the fact that I felt less pressure in general as well. I just felt like everything just kind of matched, you know?
Yeah. No, and I think that's it too. I think the good thing about our team was no one would like rag on someone else if something happened at all. Like there was literally no instances of that. And then the way we spoke to each other in games too, like especially high intensity games like SG, it wasn't like, get here now, stop it. It was more like, hey, how about we go this way? Or hey, how about we do this? You know, and I think it just, I think everyone's attitude was great. And you know what? We deserved it on vibes alone.
Oh, true. No,
vibes
I agree.
Alone. It was RW, I'm afraid.
No, and skill. I mean, I've watched a lot of perspectives already, and I know we were, even though we might not have felt like it was our best, we were up there, you know.
We were doing well. We were doing well. I mean, just think if we didn't get wall rushed so many times in battle box, I mean,
right.
God, yeah. I hope that map never comes back.
It was pretty bad.
So obviously, we were the first set of players to experience an MCC after MCC Island had come out. We haven't quite experienced the hot mess that Sky Battle is going to be when we inevitably get it. But I feel like we had a very similar opinion in that everyone was just busted it to get to the other side.
What happened there, dude? Like I genuinely, I was like, oh, I just finished, like, I'm finishing. It's so quick. I feel like we just started. I'm already at the end. 22nd. What? How? How does that happen?
Like, I don't know what it was. Like, yeah, I get that a lot of people have been playing Island and, you know, they've been playing to get to the other side. So generally, I expected movement to be better. I thought it would kind of be like that. But it was just like no one else made mistakes. Like, I think I finished, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Skydive. I fell off right at the start, then finished it flawless. And it was like 29th. I was like, how? Who else is, why has no one made a mistake?
It doesn't make sense. It was the same thing with Terra Soup Force because in my head, I said, I'll take it slow because everyone's going to die in front of me. So it's going to be a lot of explosions, a lot of things happening. I'll go right through. No one died in front of me. No one. Everyone made it through. Everyone was chilling. And I got there and I'm punching for my life. And for some reason, was not able to punch anyone and went from like top 10 down to like 16th. So I don't know. Everyone's better. Island has definitely brought out the toxic in us as well.
Oh yeah.
The amount of punching, dude.
I was guilty of it too. But to be fair, the one time I did it, I got like instant karma'd, and after that I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna stop. The worst, I like just punched Tubbo a bunch of times and then just jumped off to the dome map. Like nothing even happened. No. And I was like, you know what? That's a sign that I should just stop it. There's no need to be punching Tubbo. He's an innocent teenager.
Poor guy, yeah.
Poor guy. But I do think it's interesting because obviously we're going to see more games get added to Island. My guess is that we're going to get survival games pretty soon. Just because, I mean, sure, it's almost just like a port across. It's done. Once you've got it ready, it's ready. And then potentially Ace Race, since it was supposed to be on launch and then it's been pushed back. I'm frightened because Ace Race was like, it's my bread and butter. I love Ace Race. Now, don't get me wrong, I can't even slate anyone for VOD reviewing because I'm a fiend for it. I love VOD reviewing.
Yeah.
Everyone knew the perfect route to run in that Ace Race, and I was just so upset the whole time. Yeah.
And it's tough too because, I mean, I feel like it's not just the route at this point. It's also just people are getting better at movement in general, and like, I think MCC Island brings a lot of that as well. Just the practice of getting that Minecraft movement in that is very similar to what MCC event will have. And even with Ace Race, like I didn't run the best route. In fact, I messed up like a lot of the shortcuts a lot of the times and I still placed second. So I just think, yeah, like, you don't want to watch back my perspective. It's kind of bad, actually. But I genuinely think people are just overall getting better at movement as well. And so that's the fear that I had with Island coming out, and it's coming true. So
yeah,
I'm glad I got my first individual in now, because I probably won't get it again later.
I said just get it locked in now, and then you're good for the future now. No one can take it off you now. You've hit every made up quota that changes every week to be an S tier now. Exactly. They can't take it away. That's not fair.
Well, Reddit makes their own rules,
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing. Obviously, I know, again, you are quite competitive, and we've spoken about how you do take some people's opinions in and what they're saying. And, like, I mean, does it feel any different knowing that they now do consider you? Because, I mean, you were always in contention. No one ever said you were not an S tier. They basically said, Jojo needs to play a few more events. Yeah. Because you had, like, I think, like, your first and second event, you did really well. And they're like, well, that's it, S tier. Yeah. I'm like, let's give it a few events, and then, well, you stayed good. So, does it feel any different? It's quite an elite group.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it doesn't feel that much different. But to be fair, I genuinely, in my head, it doesn't even feel like we just won. Like, it hasn't like happened in my brain yet. So I've just been going about my day, and then people are like, "Oh, congrats," and I'm like, "But yeah, thanks." Like. But yeah, I mean, I did see a couple of like really nice messages on the Reddit. People are like, I just want to apologize to Jojo. And I'm like, I mean, you didn't have to, but thank you. Like,
wow.
Thanks for thinking that. But I personally, I know my skill, and I know that I'm pretty decent at the game. Yeah. So in my own head, I would tell myself I'm S tier, right? Because if I don't say it, no one else will, and I'm not going to believe it, right? So I gotta stick it in there.
Wow.
So, I mean, it doesn't feel different because I've been saying it to myself this whole time.
Unreal. Guys, you heard it here first. Jojosolos manifested first place.
I did.
We can do anything. We really can. So this is, I guess, like a sort of fairly broad question, but what are your like sort of favorite 3 games to play? Maybe your least favorite 3 games to play. Careful what you say. It's but no, I mean, I think there's a lot of people are very interested in what people's favorite games are. We get a lot of people on who are just straight PvP, and I mean, it could be the same again. You don't know, but yeah, I'll hand it over to you. I'd love to know what your favorite and least favorite games are.
It's funny because a lot of people see me as like a PvP person, because that is kind of my upbringing with Minecraft. But I will have to say, survival games is probably the worst MCC game.
Wow. Okay. You want to give any reasoning? I'll just drag it.
It's complete RNG. It's like you get the iron armor or you don't, and it's over, And True. I think that aspect of it sucks. And it is the least MCC game there is. I've played SG back in 2012, Yeah. Versus Sands of Time being my number 1 favorite game. That's probably my number 1. So let me go in order, right? So least favorite, probably survival games, parkour tag. I've been scarred by Dust Bowl. That map has done me dirty.
Dust Bowl supremacy.
Nah, I'm against you there. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have another least favorite. I think my top 3 favorites are Sands of Time, Meltdown, and Rocket Spleef Rush. Those are probably my top 3.
Ooh, okay, because then that leads really interesting into, obviously, Rocket Spleef Rush was removed.
I know,
and right before the last game, I guess my maths brain kicked in, and I was like, guys, we shouldn't vote Sands of Time. And I know how much you love that game.
I know.
So that was a hard thing to even pitch. But what was that like in the moment? And,
I was with you there, though, because I understood that if we played Sands of Time and completely messed it up, that could have made us go from first to last, right?
Yeah.
Versus parkour tag, where I know you're good at the game. I'm decent at parkour tag. Like I can do something.
I've been known to run.
I've done parkour. So I knew we could handle it enough that we wouldn't lose first, and if we did, we'd be down to second, right? So I understood that. I think at the end of the day, it didn't matter anyway, because I don't know if you saw, but Sapnap swapped himself into the dome and punched all the chickens out of Sands of Time. So we didn't even have a say anyway.
True. Which, that was so strange to me too, because whilst I appreciate he did exactly our bidding, basically.
Yeah.
It seemed like they would have wanted, just for the score alone, they would have wanted Sands. Like, even if you don't like the game, if I'm a team that's in 4th or 5th there, I'm going, well, Sands. Has to be Sands. Because you're not going to catch up in parkour tag, which is the exact reason we wanted it.
And I think what kicked in for you that was math, for them was like skill. And they were like, we're better at this, without realizing that at the end of the day, they're probably not going to get enough coins to actually make it to top 2. So you probably had the better mindset on that.
Big up math brain kicking in momentarily, you know? But I mean, yeah, you know, it was just such a fun event. I mean, obviously there was so many like random new things. The hole in the wall map is, I'm scarred.
I didn't like it.
No, I mean,
not a fan.
I don't know if you saw, I mean, I was talking about this on stream. I think the Knots crew said that only one wall should have had the pistons, and even then it was by accident. And I was like, no. So many of the walls. A lot of people
felt it. Yeah.
Had the pistons. Yeah. Like I scrubbed it out of my own head that I might have hit one. So I mean, they're doing a great job cleaning this up.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like the map, how it was just like the 4 lines basically, and there would be this wall where you have to jump through the middle, and like the ground in the middle only had like a 2x2 block, but like one of those lines kind of disappeared. I don't know if I'm describing this well, but one of those lines disappeared. It makes it a 1 block thin jump. It's like, that's so stressful, you know? I didn't like that.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm a hater of that. That's it. I'd like to see it go. I am interested to know whether you are for or against Terra Swoop Force Tunnel 3 and to get to the other side. Because I know it's a horribly hard tunnel. Yeah. I kind of just want to see it for the sadistic side and see how many people can finish it, honestly.
I have never played it. So I've only heard it's terribly hard. So I will take your word for it, and I want to see it. I'm down. Yeah. Like I remember a long time ago, people would say like, oh, if you don't finish Terra Soup Force, like I believe it was Tunnel 2. So they were like, don't even worry if you don't finish this one. Like no one finishes this one. Last MCC, we just found out a lot of people finished Terra Soup Force. So I'm down to see a harder one, you know? Yeah. I think it's about time with the competitiveness of this event.
That's it. So people were suggesting that the only way it could ever be put in is if they added a halfway checkpoint. Because it is, I would say it's probably like the length of Tunnel 1 and Tunnel 2 added together. So it is quite long. Yeah. And I guess if you got super far in then died, there'd be almost no point in you even trying again. Yeah. So I don't know. I just love to see, like, I love weird, quirky things. That's why the remixes are so cool. Like, I'm kind of a hater. I'm kind of a hater of remixes. I also love them. Like, I don't know. It's
like
a weird...
what we've seen on Island. I think to get to the other side, modifiers are fun. Yeah. There's certain ones I don't like. Like, you know, especially if we get targeted with it. But I like early chickens. I think those are fun. Yeah, you know,
you're
like
so fun.
Fighting for that one chicken that's right there.
Especially when it gives it to you on the random tree house. You know which one I mean? When you're in the treetops and they're all just kind of floating randomly in the middle of the air, and you have to fully go for I'm either tagging this or I'm dying. There's no middle ground.
Exactly. Yeah. I like the modifiers. I'd like to see some of those in the event. Maybe not in every single map, but maybe just one sprinkled in here, just for
a little dash of TNT time thrown in.
It'd make it a little interesting.
It would. It definitely would. And that's why MCC Island is really gonna, I think, change the landscape of MCC. I mean, again, everyone plays and gets better anyway. We see that over time. Players like average scores just rising and rising. Now I just think that it's going to happen so dramatically that I'm just nervous for my own selfish needs. Yeah. I just settled into pretty consistently being a top 10 player. Yeah. And then Island comes out and now I can't get top 10 again. I mean, you know, I'm a little nervous about that going forward, about how much people can play and practice, and like my movement got so much better from playing to get to the other side. I mean, as much as it is pain. It's so pain. But we do have disguise now. I haven't tried it yet.
I tried it last night. Yeah, it was
How
fun.
was that? I know they're ironing out the bugs. at the moment.
You need to understand the difference in Sky Battle, especially, of just going to any corner of the map and not getting targeted is so drastic. Like, it is insane how I made it to like the final like top 3 teams every single game I played just because I was disguised. That's bonkers.
Wild. That's wild. I'm gonna make a documentary on it. You know, I'm gonna play 100 games.
I was thinking about doing that too.
Yeah, 100 games unnicked off stream, and then 100 games like unnicked on stream, and just watch the violent difference of me getting rushed in Candyland, stupid candy canes. Honestly, yeah. I'm excited that it's actually out. I'm actually be able to. I mean, it's not gonna help when I'm streaming, most likely, because people will still be able to clock it. I'm gonna start playing with like 30-second delay, like a Valorant pro player, like just not talk to my chat anymore. Like, that's it. Sorry, guys. I gotta sweat.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very, very interesting time. Do you have in your head now? Obviously, you're at the point absolutely where you are gonna be limited teammates. Sadly, the fact they put us together was already Scott was really on a mad one that day. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, Puns and Amphros were together, so definitely something was happening.
True, yeah.
Something was in the air.
Maybe Scott was a little giddy putting these ones together, I think.
Although statistically, one of the most balanced teams. I don't know if you saw the stats on Reddit, but yeah.
Oof. We love a Reddit stat. We do love Reddit stats. But yeah, I mean, obviously now you are kind of going to be in a situation where you're going to have limited teammates, or you know, for the most part. I mean, how does that affect you, like playing wise going forward? Clearly, you said earlier, like you're kind of happy playing for individual performance too. I guess it would just be maybe a switch of focus on that, or would you go into full like I can win, I can do this, I can win this event, let's go?
I mean, I think I've got my win, I've got my first place individual, right? I think now I just want to, as some would say on the Reddit and different medias, I want to keep collecting the women.
Okay, nice.
I mean, I really do see this event, and I genuinely have so much fun during this event that, like, now that I've got my win, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. I'm going to keep sweating my face off, because I do always. I'm very competitive like that. But I very much want to keep collecting the women, the they thumbs, you know. I want to keep having fun with that. I mean, there's a lot of people I still want to team with that, you know, aren't in that spectrum, like Dave. I'd love to team with Dave. I don't know the chances of that happening.
Oh yeah, wait, like for those people who don't know, like you've known each other for like a ludicrously long time, right?
I've known Dave since 2013, so 9 years.
That's crazy. I remember, like, I think you guys were like tweeting screenshots or something like quite recently of like it was like 1.6 survival games or something. I'm like, what is happening? I don't even remember how we met, but we've known each other for so long. I've known him since I was in middle school. Like, that's crazy. That is. It's honestly, it's wild. And that's what, like, I think that's one of my favorite things about MCC is, you know, the same way, I guess, the likelihood is you and Dave probably met somewhere playing some game, you know? And I think that's it now, is like most of the people that I like hang out with and call my close friends now are like people that I've met through MCC for the most part. Like, Minecraft was kind of like community divided, you know, if it was like, oh, you're on this SMP, or you know, there was like even all the way back to like people being like, oh, you're from the Soup PvP community, and like, oh, you're from this community, and it's like community, right? And you know, and like even now there's still airs of that. I think I saw like, I think when Hannah and Fruit both did well or something in survival games, people were like, oh, UHC duo going off. I'm like, what's going on?
I mean, I'm from the UHC community too, so I don't know.
Yeah, what the hell, exactly.
There's a lot of branches.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think the MCC is so cool because it fully just smushes all the audiences together. And obviously, there's some instances where it maybe doesn't go quite as well as you would hope. But, you know, outside of this event, I don't know if I would have really got to talk with Scar, honestly.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I'm so happy our team was our team, because the chances of me ever coming across Scar are like in the negative scale. Like I don't think I've ever would have talked to him. And the fact that I got the chance to, like, I know my mods were freaking out. They were like, no way, I love Scar. So like I think it's so much fun that I've been able to do that. I've met a lot of other hermits as well, like Pearl and False, and it's an honor to be able to meet all these people, have fun, just vibe, play video games, win it together. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, Scar's vibes were unmatched. And let's obviously not to say we ever thought they would not be. Right. But again, like, you know, for me, like Scars and Hermitcraft for me it's Minecraft for smart people. I don't absorb the content because they're all so clever and building ridiculous contraptions. And I'm like, okay, so this is not for me, because I need something that's aimed at, I don't know, like people who can absorb stuff like 15-year-olds, because I just want pretty flashing colors and lights and sounds. And I'm like, oh, cool. You know, so like you said, to get to, you know, meet these people and hang out with them when we really probably wouldn't have come across each other much, you know, maybe at like events, there's a bit of crossover. Like, it's like, oh, we're all going to be here and then your friends are coming here, so you might mingle with them. But you know, we got to like sit and watch VODs and we got to play the whole event together. It was just 2 hours of chilling, and I don't know, I was just, I've never been more relaxed in an MCC. I was so chilled out. Like I wanted to win, but also I was like, we're having fun.
I can't say I was chill, because I was definitely shaky. But no, I agree, the vibes were so good. It was just amazing overall, truly.
Yeah, I'm definitely super happy with it. I mean, I'm expectant of a bench soon.
Me too.
Not only have I been in a lot of events in a row, but I've also been given good teams over and over again. I'm not sure why that keeps happening. I'm very grateful. But I do think now that Scott's going to stop me from getting 5 wins for a while. I think he's going to, I think he's not make it quite so easy, because, you know, when I saw our team, I was so unbelievably confident from early on. Like I looked at that team and was like, no way.
Yeah, right.
No way.
I physically, like, I turned on my phone. I think I had just woken up, turned on my phone, and I just go, like, straight up. I was like, jaw dropped. I was like, no way. Am I reading right? Like, I need to wake up, because I did not know what was happening.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just seeing this with like sleepy eyes. You're like,
yeah,
hold on.
Yeah.
You look back at it 2 minutes later. Yeah, it's a completely different team. You're like, oh, never mind. But yeah, do you have any you know, expectations going forward? I mean, next event, I'm assuming, is going to be spooky. I would guess, since it is the Halloween one. Are we going to see a Jojo Halloween cosplay? Are we?
If I'm in it, I will absolutely be dressing up. I don't know if I'll be a cosplay of a Jojo's Bizzare. I mean, I have a Jotaro hat right here if I wanted to pull that up. I have an Among Us costume, but if I'm not in it, if I'm not in it, I will definitely VOD review it in a costume.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I want to match the vibes.
Not in the event, you're like, hey, yo, look. Yeah, it's the day after.
Yeah, I want to be like kind of a part of it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I actually love that. Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat now where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be in it. And I hope we like get to know sooner rather than later, because again, Scott's going to say costumes are mandatory.
Yeah.
And then we've got to try and get something that's not just absolutely awful, or get something awful.
Yeah.
Maybe that's half the fun, to just be in something absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I've never been good with costumes. So, I mean, last year I was in Among Us, so that goes to show how bad I am with this sort of thing.
No, what do you mean? That's perfect. That's literally perfect.
Well, it was very low effort, so.
I'm just trying to think now. Have you been in an event where there is the hub mini games yet? I'm trying to think. What was it? 21.
There was one of like grabbing the flowers. I think it was. I had to grab the flowers for like power-ups or something. Because
I'm gonna you know, go out there on a whim and say right now that if we come back to, if you're in and it's trick or treat sweets again, I'm gonna pip you as the person who can take down. I think it was Scott and Fruit were just ridiculously busted at this. So I'm gonna go for Jojo #1 sweet picker upper.
Yeah, I
That's
hope
it. Just
so.
keep bagging first in just the most obscure niche things.
I hope that if I'm not in it, I'm allowed in the hub just to like go look for it.
Like someone just whitelist me so I can play the mini game and that's it.
That's it, right?
Yeah, maybe they'll let you. I mean, I'm super cheeky. I always ask to do stuff if I'm not in it. Like I got to commentate one a few events back, and that was just because I just pestered Scott and Noxite and was
I'd love to do that.
I was like, please let me. Like, it's not gonna hurt you guys. Like, I won't stream it. I'm not taking viewers away. I'm just gonna have the content, and I just want to see if I can do it. I don't know. It made some games really fun. Buildmart was actually really fun to watch when I was trying to work out how you shoutcast building.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because it was really interesting. Luckily, it was just basically watch Scott's team and watch them
team,
win violently.
Yeah.
That was the one where they set the new Buildmart record. So
oh god, wait, which MCC was that?
22, 23. What was Scott's team? Wait, hold on. It can't be 23 because you were in that team. Wait, maybe it... What event was this? Where am I? Well, wait, it was Pride 22.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I was looking at all the Canon events being like, hello? I'm like, what? Oh, it was Smager, Gree, and Shovel Gem. Of course they set the Buildmart record.
Yeah.
Sorry, goodness me.
That makes more sense. I was going to say, because I haven't played a Canon Buildmart until Sands of Mart. And that was the absolute worst Buildmart I've ever experienced in my life. So
that was actual horrific pain.
I can't believe we played it.
Hated it.
I guess we played it because it was Shelby's birthday and Shelby wanted it. So
you gotta give it to Shelby. It's Shelby's birthday.
It's true. Shelby was asking for it.
Yeah. I mean, what the funniest thing about this is when you were saying earlier, like it's your first win. I knew it was Scar's first win, but I actually just assumed you'd won already, which is maybe just on me. But also you're now in the 100% dodgeball category. One dodgeball, one W, unless you include non-cannons. But one cannon dodgeball and then one win. I mean, hold that dub. Yeah. Hold that dub. I'm just trying to find you. This is what I do. I find like the weird niche things that I can claim about myself. I'm like, I'm the only person that currently lives in the south of England to have done this at this age. Easy. Got it locked in. Although I did find out that I think I am statistically the strongest British player.
What?
Fun one. I think it's pretty close between me and Tommy Innit. But I think the general consensus is that I'm more consistent and Tommy has bigger pop-off potential, which I agree with completely. I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah. So that's it. I've got to get the 5 wins so I can be the first British 5-time winner. Again, we're just finding weird little niches. I now also just want to be the first 6-time winner just out of my own competitive spirit. Yeah. I said I would beat Dream to 5 when I was on 2, and it got close for a while. It got close.
Yikes.
I got to 4 when he was on 4, but yeah, he had to beat me. It's fine. It is what it is.
Dang.
Right, we're gonna head over to the viewer questions, where I picked 3 viewer questions for you. 2 great ones. One, well, you'll see it. So, at Chasing D Team asked if there was no restrictions, what MCC team are you picking? I would probably guess you, Purple, Dave, Hannah, but you go crazy.
Just about to say purpled.
Yeah.
Probably purpled, Dave. Actually, I think you've got it. Hold on.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. I definitely want Sylvie though, so I don't know.
We have to start like 5-man teams or something.
Yeah, right. It'd be tough. I think I'd say purpled, Dave, and Sylvie, just because I've teamed with Hannah recently. I want to team with Sylvie again.
True. No, that makes sense. I mean, I guess the thing is for you too, since you're still like relatively new in the grand scheme of things, like there probably are so many players.
There's so many.
When I get asked this now, like you can only pick players you haven't teamed with, I'm like, well, there's about 8. So
I've got the whole roster.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. I just keep saying Krinios, but then he just is in and out randomly. I think that's usually who my go-to is. I'm like Krinios, and then I'll just anyone else. Yeah, not too bothered. I just like to team with Krinios. Okay, I think that's a fair answer. Yeah. Phantomized would like to know, what was it like going from MCC Rising to Canon MCCs in terms of the skill/knowledge level of other players and how much you prepared? Big question.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because from Rising, I didn't go directly from Rising into MCC.
No.
I went into All-Stars.
Which is a wacky situation.
Which was, dare I say, like probably one of the most competitive MCCs, non-canon, canon, whatever, out there, given that a lot of teams were kind of OP and some of them were there just for fun because it really was just only people who have won. The only reason I got in is because some of the canon winners couldn't make it. So Blushy and I, winning Rising, were able to go in. And just going into that, I mean, I was teamed with Puns and Blushy and Puffy. So, like, our team was kind of cracked, like, from the get-go. I think we finished in 4th. So for that to be, like, kind of my first MCC experience, given that it was, like, MCC roster,
yeah,
I definitely learned a lot. But, I mean, Rising, like, do you know how much I studied Rising?
Really?
Like, no, you don't understand. I did not watch MCC until I was in MCC.
Oh.
So I go into Rising and I'm in and I'm like, how does the game work? Like, what are the games? How does this work? I didn't even realize that you voted with chickens until the day of the event.
And look at you now.
Let me know. So, I mean, I already went through like a whole long list of studying Sands of Time, Grid Runners, built like all these like completely different games. You don't really have to study for something like SG because I've been playing survival games since 2014, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right. You know the basis.
That's in my blood, you know? So it was learning the very MCC exclusive games. That was a lot. And going into All-Stars, it was comforting because I had someone like S tier Puns to be there and like guide the team and tell us what to do. And I think then I was able to kind of like set the precedent of like where my skill was. Because I think I ended in like 12th or something like that.
Yep.
In All-Stars. 12th individual in All-Stars.
That is
my
wild.
second MCC ever, right? So like, I feel like from there, I was like, wow, like this was really fun. This was really cool. When I finally got invited into MCC, I had an idea of how it would go. And of course, I was in a team with Ant Frost. So like, I know Ant Frost being maybe, top 3 VOD reviewer out there.
Oh, I would actually put him at number 1 now. I actually think it used to be me, and now so many people do it. I think Ant way outdoes me at this point.
Yeah.
Ant's a beast.
Yeah. We spent so much time just VOD reviewing and practicing, and it was so much fun. I love practicing for MCC. It's probably one of the most fun times I have playing Minecraft. And I was a lot more comfortable doing that because I was in All-Stars. All-Stars was kind of like the middle ground that prepared me for actual MCC. So can't forget All-Stars.
No.
Yeah.
Never forget you. Never forget you. Rising and All-Stars. You got to remember the roots.
Right.
You gotta remember the roots.
Right.
It's so interesting because you were talking about All-Stars and I was like, it's so funny if you look back at like the start of season 2, like for MCC 14. I guess it's because people were still new and obviously we knew they were busted, but somehow the team me, Puns, Sapnap, and Catherine Elizabeth was allowed. And like, I'm looking back on it now and I'm like, first of all, we didn't win. Which is we lost in Dodgeball. I think it's Puns' kryptonite. It's like the one meme we have about Puns because he went 0-8 for shooting arrows, which is just like, and we were playing on the rules of like Puns or Sapnap was gonna shoot, and during the event, they were so competitive with each other, which is why I think we did so well because they were just trying to one up each other the whole time.
Yeah.
But then I think it came down to like one of the games. They were like, all right, if I finish above you in this game, I get to shoot, and they were like, all right, cool. They were so competitive with each other, but then it came down to the fact that like we didn't try and stop Puns, and when he was missing, we were like, we should maybe let someone else just go. So we actually lost 3-1 in that, which is funny. But then my next team was me, Puns, Jack Manifold, and Captain Sparkles. Then it was me, Dream, Finn, and Bad. Like, I've been fed in this season. No wonder. I saw someone the other day saying like, hopefully he'll start getting teams that aren't so cracked. And I'm like, my teams aren't that. Oh, they are. They are actually.
Yeah.
It turns out. But yeah, it's interesting to see how the dynamic changes because obviously now like I can't team with puns or Sabnap. That absolutely is. There's no way. And that's happened over the course of, I mean, I say it's not a long time, but that was MCC 14 and now we're on 25. So I guess it was a year ago or so, you know? So
yeah. And I think it's funny that Scott told you, like, I'm not going to allow you to team with S tiers anymore, and then puts you in a team with me.
Yeah.
And then the Reddit was like, wait, Jojo.
Scott really understood the assignment of like, well, Jojo's a suspected S tier. So there's no clarification yet. And now you've ruined it for us, Jojo.
Sorry,
now we can never team again.
Hey, I'll start sandbagging. I'll get 20th the next one.
That's it. I need to watch Scott's new video about how he makes the teams, because apparently it's like weighted averages now. So yeah. I just need to tank like 5 MCCs in a row and I'm just going to start getting fed again. It's easy. Yeah. No problem for me.
Yeah, that's easy. Just
we do have one more viewer question.
Okay.
It's from Yupitsu, who wants to know, could you explain how to take notes on a Surface Pro?
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to use the OneNote app. It's great.
I just actually loved that thread of like the S tier's most viewed videos, and like everyone's was just some like ancient like random Minecraft video, and yours was.
Well, you gotta understand, like a lot of people, especially Scott, like I was talking about it with Scott, and no one knows like what I really did before MCC, right?
True.
And it's like I did a lot of Minecraft way back in the day, like middle school, high school. College times were different, man. Like I quit Minecraft. I was doing Fortnite, first of all. I was in college, so I was, studying all the time. I was doing tech reviews. I'm pretty sure I made a some random review over like AirPods, like whatever, just random things, because at the time I really only cared about doing things that I was into. And I loved vlogging. I loved doing that sort of thing at the time. I was only on my computer to stream Fortnite for like 3 hours, and then like I'd be done, Yeah. And then, Among Us came around, and at this period I was playing like a little bit of Minecraft, but just like such a minuscule amount. And then I was doing like 6-hour streams of Among Us every day. It was awful. Well, at the time I was having fun. Thinking back on it now, the fact that I played that much is awful. And MCC Rising was literally the reason I got back into Minecraft. Like I genuinely did not touch Minecraft probably for like 5 months until I got into Rising. So
that's wild.
Yeah. So, and at this point in time, I reached a point during college that I was doing so much streaming, and obviously I was close to graduating, I was almost done. I completely quit YouTube. And so my main thing, or I guess what was popping off on my YouTube at the time, was that video, how I take notes, which still happens to be my most viewed video. And it's still getting more views. It's literally the only reason I'm monetized on YouTube. Like I was not uploading for like a year straight, and I would still get money from YouTube.
That's so funny. I love that.
MCC brought me back to Minecraft, and I guess I'm just the very best. I don't know.
Wow. Look at that. Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's actually really cool, though. Like, I do think that's super interesting that people don't know. I think everyone assumes that everyone in MCC just comes from a purely Minecraft playing background. So they're like, oh, it'll all be Minecraft content, when that's just literally not the case. Especially, like you said, for you were into so many different things, and you were doing what you wanted to do. And obviously now you've rekindled your love for the block game. So
yeah,
and hopefully you're still doing something you love.
Yeah, no, I do. It's funny too, because if you go to my channel on YouTube, my trailer on my YouTube is like, what is my YouTube, right? Because I was uploading Fortnite, Overwatch, vlogs, tech reviews, like it was all over the place. And in that video, I was like kind of talking about my life, and I'm like, yeah, I've got all these things going on. So what is my YouTube? It's just me. It's like whatever I'm doing on this day, I'm uploading it, I'm not gonna force myself to do Minecraft if I hate it, or Fortnite if I hate it. If that's what's bringing views, I didn't care, Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the way I see YouTube is that's my history. When I'm 55 years old, I'll get to look back on it and be like, wow, I was young and, taking notes on a Surface Pro, right?
Who knows? What if you just need a quick refresher? What if you're using the the brand new Surface Pro that's been released in however many years time? You're like, what was that app? OneNote. I remember.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, unreal. Well, Jojo, that about wraps it all up. My endings for these have been painfully awkward because I always just sort of hand it over to the other people and it ends up being really, really uncomfortable. So what I'll do instead is give you a nice easy one. Just be like, where can people find you on the internet, Jojo?
Jojosolos on pretty much everything, unless it's Twitter.
And the L, phony L.
The L is a capital I, so Jojosolos. Same with Instagram.
Kind of sounds hard though. That sounds sick.
Jojosolos or Jojosolos.
It's from now on what I'm the only thing I'm going to call you from now on.
A lot of people call me that actually. I'll allow it, I guess.
Oh, I just found the person who actually has it.
It's a Jojosiwa fan account.
It's a Jojosiwa fan account. Oh. I did have a little chuckle because I think you got like a couple of kills with bow in battle box and I was like, Jojo bows. I was like, oh. funny, accidental funny in the wild.
Gosh,
well, I hope you eventually get that account since they haven't posted in 6 years.
Listen, my only goal at this point is to become relevant enough that if someone says people are like Jojosiwa or Jojo reference, like from the anime. Like my goal is that someone says Jojo and they're like Jojo, like Jojosolos.
Whoa. It's a big one.
It's
a big one just because of, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure.
I know.
But I believe in you. I think you got it. We'll go back to this. We're going to do a recap podcast in 1 year's time.
1 year.
And you're going to be the Jojo by then.
Yes, I hope so.
That's it. I'm giving you one year.
That's all you give me. Okay.
To achieve this goal. Full force.
All right, everyone watching, you know what to do.
That's it. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I've had a blast. I hope you have had fun too. And
I've had a blast. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I guess I'll see everybody in the next one, which will be on
time.
time.
Money for having me over.
No, I'm glad you had the time. Thank you very much.
Always.